Saya player, literally a different breed of player. That guy, this is a team.
Ex-Overwatch player.
Ex-Overwatch player. That is so true. And they got a guy named Jonah P on their team.
Last week.
That's me.
I was like, I knew he was going to make a comment about Jonah P.
Yes, I was. Hey, yo. Yeah, you didn't even know we started.
Oh.
What's up? Welcome to episode 26 of the Ezclappodcast. This is a very normal intro. I'm your host. I'm not so... Okay, hold on. I ruined it for myself. Yeah, I'm Twizzlerlips, a.k.a. Jonah. Call me either. This is other podcast host, Soapydishwaters. I didn't mess that one up.
No.
Hey, it's another week. Another fantastic week of lots of esports, totally. Not sarcasm. Lots of stuff going on.
Not lots of stuff, but the things that happened were kind of like...
Actually, there were some big things. That's true. So today we got some... Well, we'll go over some more Overwatch teams. There was some big things that happened with signing and people leaving Overwatch. Valorant just secured, or like all the teams now are secured to go to Reykjavik, which is Iceland, for the first like LAN tournament of the year. But before we get into any of that, I'm all over the place today. Anything new this week?
No, not really.
Wow. He's full of answers and energy today, huh?
No, just more Overwatch. Mainly, I think we've fully placed my tank, fully placed my support. And no, actually, I have not fully placed my support, but everything's in Diamond, which is good. This is the first time that I've had all roles in Diamond, which is cool.
True.
We did play a non-roll lock queue. What's a queue? Open queue game.
Dude, open queue was fun.
And we played one game, and we had
top 500
we were in a top 500 lobby. So that's telling us that was our
funny.
Qualifying matches or whatever you call placement matches.
You have to do 10 of them too.
Yeah, you have to do 10 of them, but it's saying that based off of our, I guess, skill cap in open queue, we were top 500 worthy, which not a huge flex because I think
it's Masters.
Yeah, isn't it like high diamond, low Masters is top 500? But still, hey, you get the emblem if you get in there. So
that's true. The only downside to being top 500 in open queue is that you have to play 50 or 75 games before you actually
show up on the rank ladder.
Yeah, and so like there'll be people that'll be like in mid to high Masters and like they're still not technically top 500, and then once they hit their 50 or 75th game, all of a sudden they're like a top 12 player in the country or something like that, which I mean, it's still a flex if you can get to like top 100 in open queue, but I think just in general, like top 500 is
better
like
than having a Lucio
flex.
Ball top 500 emblem. All right, or capture the flag like we said.
Oh man, this is really nice because usually you're like screaming in my ear when you're talking, and I can't hear you except for like, your voice. So I'm not hearing you like fucking like.
My energy is low because I went on like a bike ride, and I haven't been on a bike ride in a long time before the podcast.
I have been biking.
What?
I said I've been biking.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been biking in like over a month, and I went today, and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
how quick you like learn, or your legs like unlearn biking." Because I was like, "Wow, my legs are sore."
That's true. Yeah, nothing much new for me. That's a good one. I've been still playing Mario Kart just because like the new maps and stuff. The new Kirby game came out, and I'm really, really tempted to buy it because it's so cute. Like you can eat a car, you can eat a fridge,
you can eat a whole bus.
That's true. And you can still have you seen the one where like when you get the gun on Kirby, you can go up and just like shoot people?
Just shoot people. Yeah, I saw a TikTok and it was like I just committed murder in Kirby.
Yeah, the game's cute, but is it worth like $75 or $60?
Oh, it's like $75.
No,
like what the heck?
Lux, what's up, Lux? Can you see the screen or no?
No, I can't.
Oh, Lux said stuff in chat. What's up, Lux? It's been a minute. Yeah, so the game looks fun, but it's just kind of like, it's a little much for a Kirby game. Maybe if it was Sonic, because I fuck with Sonic.
Dude,
like,
Sonic was one of the first games I ever played on a Sega.
Dude, Sonic in general, I like Sonic Riders the most. I think we talked about that, but, whatever. So anyways, we can get into this week. We'll start with some big news. The Toronto Defiant. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was like, what? I was like, there's not a single person who hears big news Toronto Defiant in the same sentence.
This is your boy, so you can take it from here.
This is my boy. So, the face of Overwatch, Overwatch League, also known as
Tracer.
Yeah, Matthew Super DeLacy.
Oh Lord.
Retired from Overwatch League a week before the league starts.
A week?
Yeah, isn't it a week?
Dude, no, it's for like we still got
Or a
like
week?
another
No.
month.
Wait. A week after scrims had started.
Oh yes, yeah.
So he had the game
I was
a
like,
week.
what?
I had mentioned before that he said on streams before that he was like dealing with issues, and then he also said like Reinhardt. I like alluded to the fact that he made it seem like Reinhardt wasn't meta, and I was like, that's interesting. So what's he gonna play?
Yeah.
And then he retires. So
Yeah.
I think that kind of he obviously still under what is it, NDA
For what?
for
Overwatch 2?
Yeah, to talk about Overwatch
Yes,
because people are like, do you still have access? Can you talk about it? And he's like, I still have access because if they took away my access, I'm definitely breaking NDA. But he was like, he still can't talk about it, but everyone's like, I mean, the meme is, and the dead joke already is like, oh, he played it for a week and he retired. That shows you kind of the state of the game. But I think that just means, I mean, he said it himself. He enjoys streaming a lot more than he does the Overwatch League and like the stress and anxiety that comes with like having to be at your peak at all times because if you're not, someone else is.
Yeah.
And he was also the captain of the team. And he was like, the last 5 years, I think he said he flew out to LA at 17 years old and kind of spent his whole
life there,
life over playing Overwatch.
He's from Philadelphia. I know that much about him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've got a couple like thoughts on his I got a couple of thoughts on his. Oh my god, dude! Things going on in the background. A couple things on his retirement. One, I have it. So you saw the tweet from Halo, right? Where he was just
oh
like,
my gosh,
okay.
Yes.
Now, before you get mad, because I know you're a super fanboy, so like,
no, I mean it's
different.
not even that.
No, it is. I think that's what it is.
No, I think it's just Halo is one of those guys where he. I mean, explain what happened first, and then I will give my 2 cents on that because there was other esports commentators that commented on his post specifically and made some great points that I 1000% agree with.
So I think it was one of those things where it's like you didn't need to say anything, and it's also poor timing. You know what I mean?
He's like stealing thunder.
Yeah, that's just not how I saw it. Like, I get where he was coming from because it's like everyone is always telling them that like he's always wrong or all this other stuff like that. You know what I mean? I kind of agree with Halo that I kind of think Super didn't resign. I think he didn't re-sign a new contract, and his contract is up in these next few months, and so he was there until they got another tank.
So that's a good like thought, but he said on stream because someone asked like in a dono, when did you make this decision to like leave?
Mm-hmm.
And he said he made it last week.
That's fine, but if his contract wasn't up until later in the summer, then he wouldn't have to decide anyways. And there's been a lot of times where people are just like, what do you mean? I'm definitely signed or not signed, or I can't talk about it.
But
like,
the Shock even posted that they re-signed him. The San Francisco Shock put a post saying that he is coming back. Like,
I think it
back
could have
in the
been
off season.
I think that could have been like a verbal agreement.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
if
you
it's
have
that
like
big of an elaborate scheme. I mean,
no. I don't think it's a scheme. I'm saying that like I think that it was like he wasn't sure if he was going to retire or not, so they gave him time to think about it, and then he decided after playing the game.
I definitely think that because he said on stream that during the last season he was not enjoying it.
Yeah,
he said he did not like Overwatch
before
last season.
He even came back last year. This was right before you probably started like following it closer. He had this he was talking about how like he was thinking of retiring because now Sinatra's gone. There's like all these Moth wasn't there anymore.
Nero
like,
moved teams. Yeah, no one was on the one from the original Shock roster.
Exactly.
Was there.
And then they had this tweet and like San Francisco Shock coaches were talking about it where they were like, oh, he's coming back for his LeBron or his Michael Jordan year or whatever. Like he's coming back for that one last like tour or whatever. So going into this last year, everyone thought it was his last year anyways. So that's why it's like, one, not surprised that he retired. And two, it's like, I really think that they kind of were just like, hey, there's this contract here if you want it, but only sign it if you're going to actually play. And so they waited till we have beta access. Now he got to play it and he decided he doesn't want to play.
Yeah.
So I don't think this is one of those like, oh, this is such a huge surprise.
The problem with Halo's thing is he super called him out on his like stream that day. He only quote tweeted the tweet. He was right. He posted 3 different tweets during the off season saying that Super retired on his own volition.
Yeah.
Super didn't get re-signed, and that Super re-signed. Like he posted 3 different ones, and he quote tweeted just the one that was correct. So it's like, of course, you throw out 10 fishing lines, you'll get a bite eventually. And that's kind of how I saw it. And then what the other like journalists were saying under his tweet was a good journalist doesn't have to have self-confirmation on whether you were right or wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
and he seems to do that a lot.
I think it's Yeah, I mean, it comes with the like position that you are as a reporter, where like self-validation's needed in order to keep doing your job.
But he always does self-validation, like you said, at the wrong times.
No, yeah, I know. Like, it was absolutely poor timing. Like, no one needed to mention anything. I think he was just like kind of being like, yo, look what I said earlier. You know what I mean? Because everyone always says I'm wrong. Because we've talked about it before in this podcast that like a lot of the community doesn't like Halo. Whether or not he's correct or not, because most of the time he is correct.
Well, yeah, he is correct, but he has all the insider information. So it's like not even like he's like speculating.
No, I know.
He has someone on the inside where everyone else is pretty much saying like, we're giving our speculations and we're right or wrong 50% of the time. You saying that you're right 90% of the time, blah, 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 when you literally have someone hand feeding you the information. Sure thing, Halo, we get it. I think that's where people are like, no crap.
Yeah.
Let us just hear it from the source because we're going to hear it eventually. We don't need to hear it one day sooner from you.
Yeah, I think.
Especially on things like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw the only reply and the last thing I'll talk about on it was like, I saw Yiska talk about it, he does another Overwatch League podcast. He's on Tactical Crouch. He's like been in the scene for a long time. He does like crazy rankings for all of Overwatch 1 he did. So like very, very high reputable like reporter, writer for Overwatch League and for Overwatch. And he just had like this tweet is going to make people mad because you're right, but also you shouldn't be posting this. It's one of those things. I think it's like you're right, but also like just like you didn't need to do this. So I think that was weird. But Super retiring in general is just kind of a blow to
the league as a whole.
Yeah,
because there's people that may not even care about the team itself and just watch just because of him.
Yeah, he's like the optic of Overwatch.
Yeah, exactly.
Where people watch it just because
they released a whole, I don't know who it is, but they do like the in the life of, and then like videos were like the life of PewDiePie, the life of.
Yeah, they did one for Super.
They did one for Super and how he is Mr. Overwatch kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean he's been on Jimmy Fallon twice now.
Yeah,
I mean that comes with winning the Overwatch League, but the fact that you've done it twice.
Well, the fact that one Overwatch League got recognized by Jimmy Fallon, that's just actually kind of cool because Jimmy Fallon's freaking bigger than the whole league combined, I think.
Yeah. It's like I think we talked about this when it first got announced. Like my view on it is like he's done everything he can.
Yeah.
Like, you've completed. Yeah. There's the only thing he didn't do was win MVP.
Yeah.
But he was runner-up MVP to Sinatra. So it's like, you know what I mean? If it weren't for the best player in the league on your team also, he would have won that also. So like he's done everything he can. I think you lose a little bit of drive when you've done that.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, I didn't have like the same passion, and it's not fair because in this league with the skill of players that you're playing against, you have to have like the passion also, because it's not just skill at that point. It's like the want to be better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And at this point, he even said he was like, I was better than everyone else. Yeah. So like you said, like all of his boxes were checked. So
yeah. It's like
he was like, I was just going through the motions to be with the team, and that's not where like my heart was, kind of thing. He's like, my heart is here with the stream. And
yeah,
I mean, it's a huge decision because it's like you hope. He even said at the end of his stream, he's like, I hope that
it's the right decision and that people will still come.
Yeah, I hope you stick with me, because he said like, because I'm gonna start doing variety, because people were like, so you done with Overwatch completely? And he's like, no, I'll still stream Overwatch, but it's not like every stream is going to start with me playing Overwatch and then I transition to Apex, or then I transition to Fortnite or something. Like there'll be days where he doesn't even touch Overwatch, or maybe multiple days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think he'll slowly transition out of playing Overwatch like XQC did.
Yeah.
Where we saw XQC was the same exact position as him, where he's the face of the league. He did everything he could. Like, I mean, now he didn't win the league, but he basically was like the most
publicized.
Yes, exactly. So like when he switched to just streaming, everyone followed him to his stream, and now he is the biggest streamer in the world by triple the second person. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think Super's going to reach that. I think he'll get more views than he ever has, but I don't think it'll be like XQC level, but that's different.
I think it'll be like ASU level, where ASU averages about like 21 to 25,000
yeah,
a stream.
Like XQC's controversial. That's why he has so many views.
And he's kind of dumb.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little different. But like, I think there was a streamer I had in mind that it reminds me, you know, honestly now, Sinatra could have followed the same level where it was like, he's getting views because he's controversial to begin with. But
Sinatra has all like the gym bros that follow him.
Yeah, but he also has like sometimes 18 to 20,000 people watching him every single night. Mm-hmm. Like he's kind of doing that's what I think Super wants to do, where it's like he can just have fun playing a game and then not have to worry about.
Well, people kept saying like in the donations, I came for the Overwatch, I subscribed for the Super.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I came because you were playing this specific game that I was interested in, but now I'm watching you because of you. And I think that's how all your followers happen on things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully the people watching this, you came for the updates on stuff, and you're staying. You subscribe for us. Aww.
Oh Lord. Yeah. I mean, I like Super. I know going into like when I first started watching Overwatch League, he was one of my favorite players. He definitely wasn't my favorite player. Like I had my like niche like Ding and DM, but he was always there that I was like, if I ever want to watch a good stream that also has good Overwatch League, like Overwatch level playing in it, like I'll go and watch his stream because he's entertaining.
It's just nice that like he's someone that's good at the game, but he also has a personality.
Yeah.
He's not just like someone that's like slapping kids online, but just sitting there like stale face. Like, you know what I mean? That's what makes it entertaining.
That's every single Valorant streamer is that. They just fucking sit there and like dominate kids. They're like, yeah, these guys suck.
But it's like, just like I watch Custa stream and like you're subscribed to a desk analyst for Overwatch, and it's like, well, yeah, because he's different because he will do like VOD reviews of like the 2020 championship and tell you like all these things that you didn't even think about because he's an analyst.
Yeah.
And it's like super cool to like learn because you're like learning in his stream. So there's like reasons why you watch these people opposed to being just like the everyday like stale streamer.
Yeah. I feel the same way about Reinforced, like the other guy that's on the desk.
Oh yeah.
But just because he tells it from like a tank perspective, which I find is really interesting, and he'll go further back into like Apex days where it was like before the Overwatch League and also like going into it.
Yep.
So like I respect their opinions a lot. So Super's the same way. We're like someone that I can respect in the community, which is kind of huge that Overwatch needs, because let me tell you, there's a lot of shitty people in Overwatch. A lot of people shitty have come from Overwatch too. So
yeah,
I don't know. That's pretty much all I have on it. It's just like, it's crazy, but there'll be someone else that fills this spot. Yeah. Like I just want to say, I really hope the person that fills this spot isn't like a total shitbag like Sinatra was.
Right.
There's a couple players that I know will be like close to like, you know what I mean, kind of filling his spot, and I really don't want this.
Sparkle.
That's fine.
He won the thing. You know what I mean? It's kind of like JJ Watt for football. You may hate the Texans, you may hate blah blah blah, but like you can't deny that he's just like a good person. All the NFL players respect him, kind of thing. There's a reason they win these awards.
Yeah.
Now, can Sparkle like entertain like Super can?
So
there may be like a barrier. You know what I mean?
I think that would be one interesting thing to look at is like, will there ever be a crossover?
Non-American streamer.
Yeah, because if you go down the line, there's been really big names like DeFran, Sinatra, Super, like XQC, like all these people. Most of them turned out bad. Super was a good one.
Yeah,
but like next up could be like Violet from the like you know what I mean?
Yeah, the highest viewed Overwatch streamer that's an actual like Overwatch League player is Space.
Yeah, and that's who I don't want to be.
And he averages like 1,000, which is like nowhere near Super.
There's one other person that doesn't get mentioned because he's technically a coach too, but it's Jake. Technically, before he retired originally, he was Super before Super was Super. He was the face of the Overwatch League. He was all this stuff. He retired. It was this big ordeal. They hung his jersey in their little like thing, and then he came back for the Houston Outlaws. So like, he's someone that I really like.
Come back and take over.
He's such a good guy. Space has a lot of personal issues that he's gotten in trouble for, so I'd prefer it if he wasn't, because he's just like Sinatra and he's just like DeFran, just like XQC. So like, we're good without that one. But
am I subbed to Space? Maybe.
Well, he said some questionable things. I think
that's not why I'm subbed. Yeah. I'm subbed because he plays for the LA Gladiators, and that's my favorite team.
He said, I came for the Overwatch, stayed for the transphobia.
No.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if it was like a Korean player, or they couldn't be a Chinese player because they are on a different platform.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I follow a Pelican on Twitch.
That's really cool. I think, like I said, like I think Violet would be really good because he does have good English, well, kind of good English. And then I think someone like Decay could be really good if he stayed streaming, or Fleta. Fleta's such a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like,
does Fleta stream?
He does, but because he plays in China sometimes, I'm pretty sure it is. I'm so confused. Sometimes it's like on that other, I'm not really sure what the platform is, but so whatever. You know who'd be really good? Ons.
Oh yeah.
Ons. Like, he's so good at the game. There's never been anything really questionable about him to come out. He seems pretty nice. I don't know.
Played for the Shock. So
there you go.
The Shock fans have someone to go to.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about this other than that.
No, just, I mean, waiting to see. I mean, first off, the player that fills this spot, big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
As long as Reinhardt, is meta. or Hog. And then the next face of Overwatch League, I think you still have some massive shoes to fill because, like we said, he's just at the end of the day just a good guy also. Yeah. And so it's not like you can't just be entertaining. You have to be entertaining and kind of wholesome and a Gigasoy super if you're watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. Overwatch League is such a weird position. I guess it will really see with how Overwatch 2 pans out.
I forgot to mention. I don't donate to streamers very often. But I did do like a TTS speak to talk on his stream and asked him like, do you think that you will be like, are you stay around the league? Do you think you'll end up on the desk as an analyst, or do you think you'll
really cool,
or something like that? And he said that he would consider it if they were to have him. But he said he would start filling in. What was that other guy that I told you he would help on their stream? And it was the guy that fills in on Plat Chat.
Oh, Avast?
Yeah, he said he'll join Avast co-streams, especially. He's still going to root for the Shock, he said.
Yeah.
And he goes, but like, yeah, I'll be into like doing that stuff if they would have me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like there's any contract or anything waiting, but like,
yeah.
And I know that the Overwatch League themselves, like, I mean, the head developer was in his stream jokingly, and Super was like, everyone kept pressuring him to leak stuff for Overwatch 2, and he was just like, even the developer commented, he goes, I wish my kids were as scared as me as you are.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So like they just like him as a person. So it's like, I think they'll keep him around.
He reminds me of, if you look at like Call of Duty wise, like he has the like likability and reputation of Censor, like Doug Censor Martin, but Doug Censor Martin isn't that good anymore. But he has like the skills of like Karma, Scump, Clay.
Yeah.
Like those players where like as soon as they retire, like they have their stream to back them up. They could be on the desk if they want to. They could be a coach if they wanted. You know what I mean? Like there's so many opportunities. I just think you'll make so much money from streaming, so like it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely making more from streaming than his contract while still having one of the biggest contracts.
His donor walls were backed up 1 hour and 30 minutes on his last stream. Now, granted, it's the retirement stream, you know what I mean? But golly.
Yeah. And
those are $2 minimum. So
yeah. Yeah, the amount of money those streamers like is kind of crazy.
By the way, I'm a streamer and
yeah, follow Soapydishwaters on Twitch. Yeah,
Lux, follow me on Twitch.
Lux, you know what we're talking about.
So, yeah, Lux, you have Amazon Prime.
Well, he said, were y'all talking about Super? Yeah, we were, Lux. Thank you for definitely putting your input here.
Leaving your comments
like 30 seconds after, or 30 minutes after we started talking about him. Anyway, so we could talk about they did sign a new player. So they signed. I'm really not sure if this is Kolug or Koluge. I every time that I watch him like play in like contenders or something like that, I feel like they pronounce it differently every time. Tank player, a like God Sigma. Like every time I see this guy play, he's a Sigma player. He's also a Diva player. But like I think it's a little weird that your first signing to replace him is an off tank, which might
show you where Overwatch
2 is at. Exactly.
More arrows pointing in that direction that Reinhardt is not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, just main tank isn't good.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
I mean, they almost are making Orisa an off tank at this point too with her redesign. So it's true. Like,
yeah, I kind of think this signing would have came either way because I think you needed someone to play these extra
because they got rid of Choi
like
too. So it's like,
so this probably was happening either way. In fact, they might still be probably signing another tank because I don't know that I've ever seen this guy play Monkey or Reinhardt or Wrecking Ball. But he's a really, really, really good player. Like skill level wise, he could have been in the Overwatch League 2 years ago. He ran into some issues with some things that were alleged against him and also that he also did. So like he's had a sketchy past.
What's an Overwatch player without some controversy, right?
That's right.
Super. That's what it is.
I will say a lot of the things that people know about this guy ended up not being true, but it's one of those things where it's like
it still was an accusation.
Everyone knows that about you, you know what I mean? Now, he's been known to like boost accounts, sell accounts. He's thrown like streamers games just because he was like annoyed of them or something like that. So like cool, that's not Overwatch League stuff, but
it's just like that's coming into the league.
Yeah, so people were like kind of upset about this signing, but I will say this is totally different than the guy that signed for the he's the support player from Maryland, and he went over to the Provide. He went over to the London Spitfire. Okay, that guy said some terrible shit. Okay, he said some really bad shit. That's totally different. But yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the best players you could probably pick up. Like off tank wise, I'm just a little surprised they didn't go with a player from like O2 Blast.
Yeah, considering they literally just acquired the O2 Blast and lost to them in the scrim.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of people are thinking that they're going to pick up FaZe, who's a tank player from Korean contenders. I think there's one other Korean tank they could pick up, which they'll probably do still. But like, this is a good player to have, I guess,
just in your back pocket.
Yeah, it's like just in case in case Sigma becomes good, bro. This guy, he's up there with good Sigma. So I think it doesn't hurt them, doesn't make them better. They're just gonna be the same. So I do think Super retiring does make them a little worse, but we definitely don't know because I mean, Super could play every tank. It felt like, apart from like, you didn't see him play Zarya ever, but
no,
I mean,
but I feel like if you can aim, you can play Zarya.
Yeah, that's one of those things that he could learn still. So yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Unless you have something more to talk about for that.
For Overwatch, no. The only thing I had to say was we're on the Pub Sports Radio, and a lot of Pub Sports Radio is about sports betting, and just bring to light that there is esports betting, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on who I think. I'm only going to tell you just who I think the rookie of the year is going to be, in case you wanted to place a bet early.
Yeah, if you want, before like the league.
Yeah, we can do a whole segment on it. But
like, we can make it a weekly thing too if you want.
Yeah, just get your minds around this. I think it's going to be proper. It's going to be rookie of the year.
That is the safest bet possible, but definitely probably true.
And if you do it early, I mean, Super even said it on his stream to confirm. He said, "Watch out for proper."
I think
he said, "Watch out for proper," and he said, "Watch out for someone else," and I can't remember. He goes, because they are going to change the league, is what he said. They were that good.
Oh, I know he's talking about. He's talking about their flex support player.
What's his name?
Let me tell you his name. It is Finn.
Yeah, Finn, because he queued with Finn. Yeah, Finn is number one currently on the Korean or Asian support right now in top 500. He's number one for 2 seasons in a row now.
Yeah, I
said watch out for him, watch out for Finn, and then someone said like Sam in the chat, and he's like, "Yeah, no, don't worry about
the guy." I will say I don't think the rookie of the year is going to come from this team, and I don't think the MVP is going to come from this team, because historically they don't come from the best team. If you think about rookie of the years in the past, like you've had Pelican came from,
and they got second.
They got second, but they weren't like really like
they weren't supposed to get
team.
Second.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, so that really wasn't, where we're going to that. Leave won MVP, played for the Chengdu Hunters. The year before when Fleta won, he played for the team, they got third. You know what I mean? So like, this is, I just think it's like, there's so many good players on this team. To stand out on this team is gonna be really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And I know that everyone's like, well, Proper is this crazy god, but I'm kind of like,
if Proper starts diffing past MVP candidates in games, then that may show.
I think that it's like, Overwatch is weird. It's just like Call of Duty, where I don't think you can win MVP and Rookie of the Year. I think they're kind of like, I think they're like, because it's kind of like, it might look bad, you know what I mean? Because how could you win MVP and not be Rookie of the Year? I think that's kind of what people like fall into. So unless they somehow separate that, there is a player though that if we're talking about Rookie of the Years, let me tell you what his name is. I can't remember where he came from. Let me tell you. Is it Toronto that he plays for? I'm losing my fucking mind. It's not Toronto. I forgot Toronto is just where all the like retired players go play. Any player that's
super signing with Toronto confirmed.
Any player that like leaves and then
comes back. No, Boston Uprising.
Well, no, like it gets dropped.
Oh,
and then they dropped. Dropped. They go to Toronto Defiant, which is sad. Venom. There you go. This guy on Tracer.
Taste my venom,
dude.
My venom.
We're talking like he's. I know they're like, oh, Proper is this crazy Tracer. This is also a player that is like has an incredible Tracer and has a team to back him up too, kind of like the San Francisco Shock does.
Yeah.
But he's playing on a team that like, I don't think you're going to find the MVP on unless it's going to be Kai. You know what I mean? So like he has a better chance to stand out, where like San Francisco Shock, it's going to be hard to stand out. But
yeah,
you never know, I guess. It's your personal opinion. So
preliminary, just thoughts for y'all to think about before the league starts.
Thoughts for y'all to think about. You know who would be a good shout for like, well, I forgot they're playing in NA. Oh, if they're playing in APAC, maybe. But Flora from New York Excelsior or Yaki.
Yeah.
I think they definitely have the potential to be like a MVP player, because the rest of their team is like good but not great.
Yeah.
And like if they start upsetting teams, you'll be like, wow, that Yaki's popping off or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be kind of interesting to look at, which we could do a whole.
Yeah, let us know if you want to know more about esports betting. We have a seasoned vet over here in Twizz.
Okay. It was more on like college football, but also like I've always looked at like Call of Duty odds. But the thing with Call of Duty is
Upsets can just happen.
dude. It's like every single match or every single like round there's an upset. It's kind of like college basketball where like how many times do you see like the top seeds make it to like the end of the tournament? Like it never happens.
Yeah,
so
Purdue.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah, those guys shooting the basket scores.
Basket scores.
They're hooping the touchdowns. Those guys.
Yeah. He just threw a field goal.
Anyways, we'll move on to a little bit of Valorant before we go into like 2 Overwatch teams we can talk about again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know there was a lot of shit that went on. This tournament has been happening for like 2.5 weeks. It's really hard to follow this. Basically,
because this is the one they took a break with, right?
Dude, yes.
They took like a 2-week hiatus randomly.
Yes, they were like, well, you qualified for it, and then they were like, there was a gap before the matches start, and then they got to like winners finals, but didn't even start the losers bracket, and then they waited a week, and then they did all of them, and I'm like, bro, this is so fucking confusing. Let me pull up the bracket.
Their coordinator needs to be fired. Actually,
I'm sure it had to be with like, I don't know how long matches might have been, I guess, but
or maybe I don't know.
Dude, what's also weird is when you got to like winners finals, they were like, oh yeah, now it's a best of 5. It's not a best of 3 anymore. But like the rest of the tournament wasn't. I was like, yeah, sure, dude, whatever you
isn't that how Overwatch is though? The finals is
usually
the championship.
Yeah.
You said winners final. Okay,
I'm pretty sure it's like winners finals. They're like, yeah, dude, now it's a best of 5. Good luck. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Anyway, so NA Challengers, Masters, same thing. Qualifying for Reykjavik, like I said, the first LAN of the year. This is where we saw last year the Sentinels kind of destroy. They went on without like losing a map or something like that.
Went on a tear.
This was like the last time they were good too. So
RIP. Left it.
Yeah. So anyways, this is the same tournament we talked about last week where Sentinels ended up losing to the Guard. It came all the way down to Optic Gaming, who used to be Envy. So it's got like, all those players on it. They had to play the Guard in the winners bracket final. The losers bracket, it came down to Cloud9 and Xset. So like those are like the final 4.
Xset was supposed to be good.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I don't know.
At least last year, Xset was good.
Yeah. So coming into this Cloud9 was kind of like, everyone's like, oh, there's 2 teams that people are assuming are going to make it outside of the Sentinels. It's going to be Cloud9 and Optic. We see Cloud9, they end up losing to Optic, that's fine. They lost in like a really, really close match. And then they end up getting 3-0'd by the Guard. And people are like, oh shit, like, the Guard's actually...
Are the Guard good or is Cloud9
yeah.
bad?
Yeah. And see, that's the important match because, so Optic Gaming versus the Guard, that's to get someone sent to the grand finals. And if you make the grand finals, you qualify for Reykjavik. Okay, so Optic win that, they qualify. And everyone's like, oh shit, like, cool. Like, we figured they were going to make it. Now it's going to be between the Guard and Cloud9 to see who makes it. Yo, the Guard wiped the fucking floor with Cloud9. Saya player, literally a different breed of player. That guy, this is a team.
Oh, ex-Overwatch player.
Ex-Overwatch player. That is so true. And they got a guy named Jonah P on their team.
Last week.
That's me.
I was like, I knew he was going to make a comment about Jonah P.
Yes, I was. So, they 3-0 him. And I'm like.
They also have a guy named Twizz on their team.
Okay. Yeah, they 3-0 them. And I was like, it honestly, apart from like one of the matches or one of the sets, wasn't that close.
Mm.
So the cool thing about the Guard, this is the team that like struggled to like make it anywhere in the very beginning. They signed some players that were like up and coming players, but they never signed any like big name player. Their coach came out and was like, they've been playing on average 2.5 to 3 scrims 7 days a week. Playing tournaments outside of these qualification tournaments. Like, these people were putting in fucking grind work. Dude,
these guys are definitely cracked out the G Fuel.
Like, if there was a team that deserves this win, it's absolutely the Guard. So then, like, grand finals show up. It's Optic Gaming versus the Guard. Now, this is, once again, it's like a best of 5. We saw the Guard play some whack shit on Icebox that, like, historically, this is second map, by the way. Optic Gaming won first map. It was 13-9, whatever. Icebox is one of those maps that historically has gone like, you do the same exact play 24/7, bro. Yes. I am so sick of watching Icebox.
It's like King's Row. Like, what do you play on King's Row? Exactly. And if you don't play this, it's a cardinal sin. GG's, go next.
Yeah. And like,
I don't even watch Valorant that much, and I know that Icebox is a snooze fest of a
dude.
map.
It's not very fun to watch. Most of the time, people just like avoid playing Icebox. For some reason, the Guard. I'm pretty sure this was the map that they don't play, and neither do Optics, so they picked it anyways. And like I feel like that was like a major turning point when they beat them, because the very next match they play Breeze 13-2 them. They lose the next match on Split, and it comes down to a game 5. Now all this is doing is giving them the seeding, but there's also money involved and stuff like that. Comes down to like OT. They win 13-11 with a 1v3 clutch from Saya player. God. And like I think watching that play where they're like they were up obviously 12-11 and he's down 1-3 or 1v3, and it's just like, I mean, if he wins, it's cool, they'll win the match, but like something about the way he clutched the 1v3 and the way he plays Jet makes me really feel like he might be one of, if not the best Jet player in North America, as well as one of the best players in North America in general, coming from a team that they had to come through open qualifiers.
Yeah.
They came through open qualifiers. Put it together,
and now all of a sudden.
Came through open qualifiers, makes it to challengers, wins the whole fucking event, and the number 1 seed going into the LAN. Like, I could actually see this team doing stuff, like going far in the tournament that involves like...
I know in Call of Duty we talk about like what team is gonna like cause the upset, and I feel like that's how the Guard are, right? Well, that's how they were here. It's like if you're looking for a team to cause some upset in the bracket, the Guard did that.
Dude, yeah, and like now I think they kind of put themselves like actually on the map a little bit. Before it was like you look out to play the Guard, like you watch out to play that team because you're like, oh, like you know, they have the potential to beat us because they grind so much. Mm-hmm. Now going into playing teams from the EU, which technically right now is the best, like they are the best region. Like they absolutely could like not just take maps, but actually take wins off of the teams from EU. So they'll be going up against, let me tell you the EU teams: G2, Fnatic, Team Liquid. The cool thing about this tournament is that it's guaranteed to have a new winner. I think, yeah. So all the people that have won a LAN previously are not in this tournament anymore. They all failed to qualify. It was Sentinels, Ascend, and then Gambit. So
somebody.
I mean, it's cool at least that like there'll be a new team. I really hope it's a North American team because there's like this huge rivalry between EU teams and NA teams. And because they won the last major, they got 3 teams to qualify for this, and we only got 2. Not that it really matters, but it's one of those like, no, dude.
Valorant World Cup. Yeah.
Also, sad day. The Crazy Raccoon didn't qualify.
Oh, man. and the podcast.
They made it to the very end, and they lost to Zeta Division. I don't even... Their tweets are only in Japanese, so I have no fucking clue what's going on, because even when you translate it, it doesn't translate right on Twitter. Yeah. But it just kept being like, I kept following. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then you tune into the fucking stream, and the like announcers aren't just like, they're not just doing normal casting. They're like,
shoutcasting.
Like, yes, dude. They're like screaming into the mic. I'm like, I don't fucking know what happened. And then all of a sudden you'll just hear them scream the word raccoon over and over again, or they scream Zeta, and that's it. And I'm like, I guess.
So that's how you know who's winning.
Anyways, that was a lot of fun to watch. This was actually one of those strange tournaments where the grand finals was the best match of the whole tournament.
And if you're here for the Smash, you know that's typically not the case.
That's not the case. And you know what? I think next week or the week after there's a big Smash tournament, so we'll have time to talk about that. Content. That's right. And coming up, Overwatch League soon. So if you want, we're like at the end of the podcast, kind of. I know it's a shorter podcast. We'll talk about what, 2 teams a week again? Do you know who you did last week? You did.
I don't.
Oh shit. Did you do Dallas?
Yeah,
Fuel?
I did Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, and I did Houston Outlaws.
Who do I want this week? Drum roll. I want the Atlanta Reign.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good pick.
I hate the Atlanta Reign.
Okay.
By the way. I absolutely despise Gator.
So let's talk about, let me list off their roster right now. Active roster. Now they could still be signing, we don't know. Gator and Hawk, both tanks coming back from last year. Kai, DPS player.
Absolutely cracked Cassidy player.
Yeah, he is. And his Tracer's really good too.
And he has the same name as my son.
But I fucking hate them.
Yeah, but I fucking hate him.
Nero switched over from San Francisco Shock. And then they have Venom, the guy that came up from Korean contenders. And then
the potential also newcomer of the year.
That's true. And they have OG, who is American Tornado. who's also new, but he came from American NA contenders. Last year's second place team.
Wait, do they have one support signed?
Yes, they do. They do not have a second support signed right now.
Atlanta Reign, man.
Dude.
They must know something we don't.
Yeah. You know who they got rid of last year? It was Iris. Remember? It was Iris and Pelican.
Yeah, and we were like, how do you give up the rookie of the year?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't fucking know. So yeah, first off, I guess, what do you think about the roster compared to last year?
I mean, so I think Kai's gonna be your hit scan.
I'm looking at the results from OG. The guy came from American Tornado. First, second, first. Dude, holy shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, is Nero better than Pelican?
Dude, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, because what does Nero play? Torbjorn? Dude, he does though.
Yeah,
he's like the only Torbjorn player in the whole league.
I think
Nero actively picks Torbjorn. I know he does, because every time I saw him pick Torbjorn, I'm like, what are you doing? Now, don't get me wrong, he's pretty good, but I'm like, okay.
He's a flex projectile player that specifically plays Hanzo, Torbjorn, Pharah.
And I've really seen him play Torbjorn. So
he's got a really good Hanzo.
I think you have a lot better versatility in Pelican, so I think you're lacking DPS than last year.
Yeah.
Now experience, you gain way more experience, so you may have more game sense than Pelican and know how to be get down and dirty.
Absolutely,
when the shit hits the fan, Nero, I feel like will keep his head cooler than a rookie will, or now he's not a rookie, but in his second season.
Yeah. Also, the difference with this roster too is that they all speak English. They're going to common English. All of them are from US or EU except for Venom, but he is a English-speaking Korean player.
Yeah, and then the tank line was the same. Whatever, they're gonna get pummeled because they play Rush, so they play Ryan Zarya
or Orisa. That's it.
So I think they're gonna get absolutely dominated unless for some reason Gator or Hawk comes out with some ridiculous off-tank play, which probably unlikely. Now, I think it comes down to, we can only talk about the one support they have.
OG cracked player though.
Yeah, so if he can keep up, whichever player Gator or Hawk has to play on an off role, which will then become their main role at that point. If he can keep them up, I think he will be the difference.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? They do have a second support player. I know who it is.
Oh,
wait.
Is it Ultraviolet?
Yeah, but he can't. He's underage. He can't play until. Oh gosh, wait. Because they got both supports from American Tornado.
What is he, 17 still?
Yeah, he is. Let me see when his birthday is. I was going to say, this doesn't sound right because I know they're supposed to have a really good support player.
April 1st. So he is their second support because his birthday's in 3 days. 4 days.
He's okay. This is where I think.
Can he participate in scrims at 17 though?
Yeah, you can scrim.
You just cannot play in the league.
Yeah. I think, you can keep saying what you're saying, and then I'll tell you what.
Now that I know that Ultraviolet's there, it's literally based off, I think, how good they will be is based off their tank role. Because I think they're lacking on DPS now from last year, and it's, can Hawk or Gator learn an off tank well enough?
Yeah.
League level well enough. You know what I mean? Because obviously the aim is still the same and stuff, but I think off tanks are, tank I think is one of the most positioning roles in the game. So if you just don't know that.
Yeah. And that was where the downfall was for them in the finals too.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't play
around Ball Diva. Yeah. They were lost, literally getting put in a spin cycle.
Yeah. I also don't think that they were the second best team in the league last year.
No.
They
fell into their matches.
Yeah, they kind of did. I think, so
that was a case of we're playing really good. We got to hope that the other team is not playing well.
Yeah.
And I think.
Okay. I think, so my opinion is the roster itself got worse, but not because of the players that they left, but because it's Overwatch 2. Yes. I think if this full team was playing Overwatch 1 and they could develop a comp that wasn't Ball Diva, this team would pound. In Double Shield, this might be the best team in the league. Yeah. I think, because when you've got two players that can just frag out on support in Ultraviolet and OG, because if you watched American Tornado games, their DPS were competing with their supports for kills, because holy shit, dude, Ultraviolet on Zen, actually the most cracked Zen player I've ever seen. Like, these are the players that
it's
go
like
into
Izayaki, where it's just like,
dude, yes,
he's
they
just
go
like
into
not
your
missing.
they go into your ranked games, and they're the players that play like Mercy Zen, and she's like holding like blue beam on their
the
Zen,
yeah.
or like the Ana will nano boost the Baptiste and he'll pop a window in 5K. Like, that's what these players do. Okay, so they'll
we had a game like that where our Ana and Bap were frontlining, and we were like, what is going on? But then they were like, our Ana, I think it was on Volskaya, and our Ana gets a triple kill in the comp game, and we were like, what?
Yeah, like that's the level that these supports like know how to play. They'll fit perfectly in the Overwatch League. Like, they'll be just fine.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're right, DPS Nero is a step down from Pelican, but I think that he adds that like coaching factor a little bit from being on a team. Like,
yeah, he's essentially like an assistant coach plus player.
Yeah, it's
or like a player's coach essentially. Because I mean, Overwatch 2, they said the backline right now, the developers saying the backlines are being terrorized.
Dude, you're not terrorizing these backlines.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, you have a backline that is doing the terrorizing, and a tank will not want to dive, or I mean, a Tracer Reaper will not want to dive into this when you can get one. Like, if you get Discord and just headshot on Tracer, dunzo by a Zen Orb.
I think the difference between you'll see in like these supports and the supports for like, say like the Shanghai Dragons, like they had,
if Li Jie Gong's in a 1v1 against a DPS on the other team,
yeah,
you know
so
what I mean?
He has the like the benefit of having amazing players around him to play as a team to win. Where like these players, while like American Tornado was a good team, they were all trying to make the Overwatch League. Like, that's what they were trying to do. So like they have to show off, and they have this like extreme confidence in themselves playing, where like other teams are like, I'm confident that my teammates will come and help me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Like, I will get the peel that I need.
Yes, yeah. These players aren't thinking about that. They're thinking like, what can I do to like diff this one guy?
Yeah.
So,
but that could be, I guess, an Achilles heel though, because now, could be. Yeah, because now it's like you can't just go and try to LeBron a team. You kind of have to actually slow down and play some.
Yeah. So like support line, this is better. This is way better.
Way better.
Okay, DPS, I kind of feel like Nero won't. Dude,
Torbjorn.
I don't. He's supposed to be their Tracer player, but now they have Venom. I think Venom will play Tracer, and I see her being the meta DPS. So now you have Kai to play whatever else it is, because he is.
Yeah, I think Nero is like, he's your niche pick now.
Yeah, he's like,
I think for whatever reason, if you need a projectile,
if you need
hero.
like Pharah, I think Venom plays Echo. But if you need like Pharah, Genji, Hanzo, he'll come out and play for you.
Yeah.
Like, when he played for Guangzhou, the problem was that he played with Happy, so Happy played as Hanzo. But like, Nero's a hyper flex player. Like, he can play DPS, or he can play hit scan if he needs to. It's just not at the level of a lot
I think
of
he's
players.
just a good pickup, because it's one of those things where it's like he can cover the heroes that your two actually really cracked DPS just don't play.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like,
so
you
it's
know
like,
he's
if Genji becomes good, it's like, okay, well, now Nero's our starter.
Yeah, do you remember last year for the Los Angeles Gladiators, like, you have Kebster, who's like absolutely cracked for you, and then Birdring was supposed to be that player that just kind of like
caught in his Hanzo.
Dude, he was actually just supposed to fill.
insane.
He was supposed to fill the gaps. Like, he was supposed to be that player, and they ended up being really fucking like still super good.
Literally
but
detrimental to the other teams. I remember on Hanamura, he jumped, or he like just peeked over a wall that you typically don't look over, and drilled the headshot on the Echo, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. So like, I think he's one of those like just fallback players, which is whatever.
God, I can't believe he retired, Birdring.
But I do think that these tanks will be their absolute like
downfall.
The downfall of this fucking team. Dude.
And Gator has the biggest ego and everything. Just check his Twitter. This is just not a good guy. This is not one of those we want him to be the face of Overwatch guys.
No, but his whole like mantra is that he is the like villain, which I kind of
but it's
like.
kind of stupid. It's just like,
no, I know.
He's the freaking Riddler of the Overwatch League.
Okay, every like league has to have a villain. So like, that's who this team is or wants to be.
But don't you have to be good also to be the villain?
They got second place in the Overwatch League, dude.
Okay, but
so they see, the thing is though, like, they'll use that though. They'll be like, yeah, but we got second place though, right?
Well, what was their stupid thing they'd always type in the chat? Just playing for fun?
Oh yeah.
Okay, shut the fuck up.
Okay, but they said that and they still were beating teams. So like, you're right. To UNV and everyone else were like, that team.
But they only started saying that because they started winning.
I know.
You know what I mean?
No,
it'd be different if they said that from the beginning. Then it's like a little more respectful, because it's like, oh yeah, these underdogs that are actually just playing for fun are dominating you. Now they're just saying that because it's like saying GG easy at the end of a match.
I'm agreeing with you. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that they use that as like confidence.
Yes, I know.
I will say the only way that this tank line gets away with it is if Diva is meta, because Hawk has a really good Diva.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I can trust Hawk playing these other off tanks.
Diva's meta. at all times during Overwatch 1. So it's
Yeah. Like
there's if you wanted a safe bet the D.Va's gonna be meta.
You know what was their best comp was when they played Orisa D.Va. And I know that it's like in your head,
comp.
you're like, what the fuck is that comp? I'll never forget watching them play Lijiang Tower, D.Va, Orisa, and Pound teams, because that's both of their best heroes on tanks, and it's just like allowed them to do so much.
One, it's constant damage output with unlimited ammo from D.Va shotguns, and then Orisa has like 300
Yeah,
bullets.
it's like double shield with peel is what it is.
Yeah.
So
well,
like,
or it's like playing anything with ball too, where it's like shield with ball is nice because you can hold shield in the front line and then have ball go peel for your back line.
Yeah. So like, if D.Va's meta, this team will be good. If it's not meta, I honestly don't.
But also, if this backline's so good, they may not even need D.Va, so they could probably play double shield. Oh, never mind.
No,
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch one tank. Yeah. So like,
but
I will say though, if Orisa's meta, this will be good.
Yeah, I was gonna say if for whatever reason main tank is meta, then this team could be scary.
That's true. I think they absolutely will diff people on Orisa and D.Va, apart from a few players. But other than that, they
saying that hopefully Orisa's kit is good now that after the rework.
If not, this team is plummeting. So we've talked about their roster as a whole. Now, where do you think they end up as a like in North America, and then maybe like, do they win a tournament? What are they like at the very end?
No,
of the
I don't think they cheese ball a tournament. I think these players, the new players that they have to actually develop into the league, and then or maybe if they win a tournament, they're gonna win one late, like maybe June or what's in July, Summer Showdown. Maybe they win that kind of thing. Like they're not winning anything early, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I still think, I mean, it's hard to rank the shock now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still think it goes LAG, LA Gladiators, Dallas Fuel, San Francisco Shock. I'm gonna put New York above them because
above Atlanta.
Yeah, and then Atlanta 5th.
I totally agree with that. I've got this absolute hard.
I assumed you wouldn't. I think you would just switch New York Excelsior maybe a little higher.
Yeah, I've got like an absolute hard on for this NYXL team just because their players are hungry.
And they released a cool rebrand for like their whole.
Dude, they're just New York Excelsior.
Yeah,
now.
The whole like everything. Every team in New York is New York Excelsior, which is
dope.
super cool. And their merch looked actually sick. It kind of reminded me of Off-White.
Yeah,
it's a little tangent if you like merch.
Those players are cool as fuck. I would absolutely put them around
High middle of the pack.
Yeah, they're at the like they're cusping good team. Like they're below the great teams, but they're cusping with the good teams.
I feel like they're like the Houston Outlaws of last year.
Oh yeah,
like definitely like a good record, but not good enough to actually have an impact in a tournament.
And so the only thing now this sounds very weird, but I know you just listed all those teams. If they were below all of those teams, they're in the lower half of North America.
Yeah.
If you think about how many good teams there are now, like that puts them...
I feel like teams are balanced though. So like being like in the lower end isn't like you're not like
as bad as last
year. You're not the Valiant. You know what I mean? You're not like Vancouver Titans. You're not Spitfire.
I just think that's so weird because when you think about it, there's only 20 teams.
It's a very balanced league, I think.
Yeah. So like,
wait, is Philadelphia playing in?
They're playing in.
Are they APAC?
Korea still.
Okay, because I was like, wait, if Philadelphia's in there, maybe even lower.
Yeah, like what's crazy now is if you think about who's at the bottom of the league, technically it's one Vancouver Titans. We know that.
London Spitfire.
But technically, it's gonna have to be like Florida Mayhem, Boston, Houston. But like right after that, you're immediately at good teams now. Right after that, you find NYXL, Atlanta, Washington, like these good teams. So.
I definitely think Florida's gonna be bad.
Yeah, I think Florida's bad too.
Which is unfortunate because I like their colors.
Yeah, so
and their social media manager is Pog. They've given me Overwatch League tokens multiple times. It's actually kind of cool.
I think Atlanta is better than Boston, but worse than New York, and they're rivaling Washington Justice. That's where I'm going to put them. So that's like 5th probably in NA. I think they don't win a tournament. I think they make maybe the grand finals of a tournament because they get lucky and like.
I think they're actually dead in the middle. I don't think they're lower bottom half because you still have Toronto, Washington, London, Paris.
But see, I think Washington might be just as good as them.
But you get what I'm saying? Like Paris, I don't think they're lower. I think they're actually smack dab middle.
Oh, I forgot about Paris
because there's so many. There's Paris.
Yeah.
Paris, Florida.
Yeah, if they're like 5th, they're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's tough. I could see them making a grand finals of a tournament though in the right meta that helps their tanks, and then
the cards have to fall right.
They're
And
one of
then,
those teams.
sure.
They're one of those teams that are meta influenced, and I think if they'll have to get lucky also that like LAG plays San Francisco in the semifinals.
Yes.
If they get lucky by bracket, and
It's
then
kind of
they
like what we said about Dallas Fuel last week, though, where it's like if Dallas Fuel and then Monkey is not meta, they're probably going to
It's gonna hurt
struggle.
them, yeah.
So same thing.
Yeah, they're so meta heavy, which is the case for a lot of teams. But so I think my team I will talk about. Ooh, I really want to do Paris Eternal, but I'm doing Paris or Florida. I'm gonna
Do the better team.
Let's do Soul Dynasty.
What?
Yeah, we're gonna do APAC. We're gonna switch it up a little bit. This is the team that a lot of people are pretty high on.
I mean, they're pretty good every year.
Big sad that what's his name retired? Jonah.
That is savage.
That is
Absolutely savage.
I wonder what his contract looked like in terms of like guaranteed money because he never fucking played this year. So he just got a signing bonus, and then was like, all right, I'm out.
Got access to Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
But he said he might be back, so you never know.
Oh, he probably does then.
Yeah. So I think let me tell you the players on the team first. Fitz and Prophet are your DPS duo. You have Stalker as your third DPS. I have no fucking clue anything about Stalker. I know a lot of Contenders players, not on my radar. You have Creative and Vindime as your support, and you got Smurf as your tank.
Good tank.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, dude. I don't know Vindime either.
I think Smurf, Prophet, and Fitz
is enough. So Creative, I know this player because he got transferred from. Let me tell you, I'm not losing my mind, right? No way he played. He played for their Contenders team? Let me tell you. No, I'm actually off the goop, and he played last year for.
Yeah, I was like, wait, his
Holy
name?
Fuck! No, I know, but I thought he. Who's the player that I'm thinking of that played for the Shanghai Dragons that was on the bench the whole time? I swear it was.
No, he
Creative.
went to Chung too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, maybe he did. But that's who I'm thinking of. His name is so similar. Fitz and Prophet contending as one of the best DPS duos in the whole league.
Yes.
And
Smurf is a good all-around tank.
Yeah, Smurf is like when he played for San Francisco, it was like you had Smurf and Super, and you had the two best main tanks in the whole league on one team. So like he's not like Super though, where you know that he can play every off tank because Smurf isn't as well known as Super in terms of like watching him play other tanks.
Mm-hmm.
He never got the opportunity to, but I wouldn't see why he couldn't. You know what I mean? If he played with Super and played with the San Francisco Shock and is a winning player, so they must have faith that he can.
Especially with only having one tank signed.
That's true. I think the big ups on this team will be when you get to see Prophet and Fitz like fuck because they fuck.
You know what would be two great duos to see go against each other?
Prophet and Fitz and Fleta and Lip.
Okay, that's good.
Oh, okay,
but I think this one you're gonna like more. Prophet and Fitz, New York Excelsior. Dude, so Soul Dynasty versus New York.
Yeah, Flora and Yaki.
That will be a contest to see.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't even think about that. That's really good. Yeah, I was thinking about it because I was like, I think Fleta and Lip are better than this DPS duo.
Oh yeah.
But I don't think there's another DPS duo I can think of off the top of my head that is better besides them. It is just them right now. As if we're looking at just teams from last year, like
the Soul Dynasty always kind of gives Shanghai a little.
Dude, they do
like a little bit of trouble.
and
Fleta came from Seoul.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he played for them when he was their only good player.
That was like when he like really made his name. Like Fleta is meta.
That's where he got the Fleta deadlift. Yeah. Like where you have like over 50% or 60% of your like teams
damaged or kills and KP. Yeah.
In a competitive game mode that are in.
He also would copy healers and also have 50% of the team's healing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is a team that has the benefit of Overwatch 2 because they have such good DPS. Like, I think I can trust Smurf more than I can trust the tanks from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like, they're not having that issue. But,
and then these DPS are definitely better than Atlanta's.
They're so much fucking better. Like, I think some of the best matches you got to see was when they got to play Hangzhou, and you got to see the Ashe player that he fucks. That's all I remember. What's his? Oh my god! Dude, the Overwatch League was like
no one's here for Hangzhou, by the way.
Okay, it was 6 months ago.
The Spark aren't very good.
The names are like making me lose my fucking mind. Shy. Okay, do you remember Shy dominate for Hangzhou? Bro,
I
what?
just remember Hangzhou not being very good.
Yes, but I do remember.
It's kind of like Guangzhou, where I just kind of like just discredit them. Where it's like, yeah,
Hangzhou is a sneaky team this year, but we'll get into them later.
they have Architect.
They do have Architect, but mainly they have Shy and Gushui. But
Gushui.
What's it
Master
called?
Uguay. So that makes me think of. That's
yeah,
probably
if
the
you're
name of my
thinking-
new Overwatch account. Uguay.
If you're looking at just teams playing in APAC, this team I'm gonna put probably second, no, third.
Behind who?
Chengdu.
That's what I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna put him behind.
I think Shanghai is undoubtedly the best team. Obviously, you can't put them below anyone. And then I think it comes down to choosing between Chengdu and Seoul Dynasty, because I don't think you're going to get anything out of Guangzhou this year. They're a very safe team. Hangzhou, bro, that fucking team has so many issues apart from their players. They've got coaching issues. They've got organization issues. They have
player issues.
Half Korean, half Chinese bullshit players. Like, that team is a mess. All I know is that Shy is good. But you got the Chengdu Hunters. You know what I mean? I didn't say Los Angeles Valiant. Did you notice that? That's because what the fuck, dude? They're gonna get a win. They'll get more than one win. But bro, no one's competing in this fucking side of the Overwatch League except for Seoul Dynasty, Chengdu, and Shanghai. And I actually don't think that Seoul Dynasty win many off of Chengdu either. This feels like there's the two teams at the top, and then there's Seoul Dynasty, and then there's the shit teams.
It's like if Seoul was North American, then they'd just be like, they'd have a lot more fun.
They would, and they probably would be around.
Win more tournaments.
They'd probably be around where Atlanta is. They'd probably be middle, if not upper middle, in NA. I just think the APAC is so weak this year. Like, the teams are similar in skill, they're just shit compared to NA. So I see this team making maybe a grand finals, maybe, but like when it comes to international play, when they have to play, you know, between both regions, dude, they're not making it anywhere. You've only got Shanghai and Chengdu, and I don't see the meta helping them at all unless Monkey is meta, in which case, so fucking what? Like,
Yeah.
I still don't think that's going to help them that much. That's pretty much all I have on them. It's just like, I don't know. APAC is not as good as NA.
There's your two teams, everyone.
That's it. I think that's pretty much it. This actually came out to an hour. I really thought it was going to be shorter than this, but I forgot about how much you can talk about Atlanta and NA Overwatch. So.
Yeah. So.
Oh, well, if you want my fucking bets, there's no one that's going to be MVP or anything good coming out of the Seoul Dynasty, because Prophet is the best player to ever play Overwatch. Like, he's the GOAT. Like, that is the GOAT player of all time. Fitz could win MVP, but you have Prophet on your team, so you're not going to win.
You're always
MVP.
going to be playing from a shadow.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be like, that's Prophet. He is the second best tracer in the world, or first best tracer in the world. So whatever. I think that'll probably do it. You can find me on Twitter at Jonah_Christ. And that's all I'm going to give you for me.
You can find me on Twitter at Sean Thompson 10_. You can also find me at Talk Overwatch on Twitter. You can also find me on Twitch at Soapydishwaters with an S. Trying to just get those followers up. So if every one of you that watched this video all the way to the end gave me a follow, that'd be sick. You don't have to watch the videos. Just give me a follow.
You know what? I will make TikToks this week. I'm going to get back at it because I feel bad because, like, I've kind of been doing us a disservice as a podcast by not doing it, because we could be so much bigger than we are. And with Overwatch League coming up, it's very important to, like, network more.
Yeah.
So Ezclappodcast on TikTok. I can't forget that. You know, we'll make the For You page one of these days.
Yeah, we will. You'll see us there.
In fact, if we have a viral TikTok, and I'm talking like a couple thousand, that's all it's going to take.
Oh, okay. So I had a video that got 5,000 views. Is that viral?
No.
Is that
no?
Okay.
It's got to be at least like 10.
Okay. 10.
If we can hit 10K on some video that blows up, it doesn't matter the likes or anything like that, or if it goes like on Overwatch Twitter and people are talking about it, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes people clip shit like that. There will be absolutely a K-pop dance on our TikTok.
Okay.
It'll happen. So that give you a reason to share our TikToks.
Yeah. Share copy link. Peace out.